Hey everyone, it's Dana here, and I am going to be doing a fun fall, yes, I said fall, even though we're in the summer, I did say fall. We are doing a fun fall tutorial because it's always good to look ahead, especially if you're doing farmers markets and things like that, to be obviously doing this season ahead of time. So we are moving to fall. And I'm gonna be doing a pumpkin. I know some of you don't wanna think of pumpkins yet because you're still thinking summer. But I do know some states are going back to school very soon. I'm in New Jersey, so my kids don't go back until September. But these are fun. You can even do some smaller ones for teachers even when you get back for school and that kind of stuff. But we are gonna do a fall tutorial tonight. We are having our spend and save sale. When you go to our website, lovesolaflowers.com, the banner on the top of the website gives you all the coupon codes for if you spend certain amounts, you get certain amounts off, and you'll just put the coupon codes in when you check out, and that will get you your discount for that. So, school on Monday, I can't believe that. Yeah, we still got entire month of August and then the first week of September, so we do have more time for our summer, but it is good to think ahead for the next season, obviously. Also, if you're finding supplies, you know, in different places, it's not always easy to find the supply actually in the season that you're in. It's always ahead of time. So I found this pumpkin at the Christmas tree shops. So I don't know, you know, if Christmas tree shops is in every state, but we have Christmas tree shops. That's where I found this pumpkin. It was pretty inexpensive. And we're gonna decorate this, and we're gonna kind of do a kind of an alternative style on it, not just the classic, you know, orange, yellow, that kind of pumpkin. I have a different color scheme that I wanted to do out because, again, this is a white pumpkin. I do have an orange pumpkin as well that I'll do a classic look on it, but I wanted to bring a little bit of a different color scheme with this just for fun. And so we're gonna decorate this pumpkin. And we'll get started in a second. If you haven't joined our community group, that's facebook.com/groups/lovesolaflowers. And that will get you to our page where you can share, you can ask for advice, you can do all that kind of good stuff. And if you are not watching this video live, and you want to find all of our videos, you could actually go, besides obviously my Facebook business page here, you could also go to our YouTube channel where you can find all of our videos, and that is youtube.com/lovesolaflowers. So that's it. All right, we're gonna start. So when we have a pumpkin, so first of all, this is foam. Hi, Martha. This is foam, okay? So that's the key because I can pierce this without having to worry about it. So this is a foam pumpkin. If you get one that's hard that can't be pierced, then you're just gonna do more gluing as opposed to piercing. So it's gonna be the kind of same, similar, you know, decorating style, but you're just gonna be doing more gluing as opposed to poking in. I am gonna use, like I said, a kind of a different color scheme because it's a white pumpkin and I thought I'd be a little bit different. I've got some fall leaves here and they are purpley in color. And we're gonna decorate the top of the pumpkin. I don't wanna go too crazy and fill it where you don't actually see it's a pumpkin anymore. Because sometimes, you know, you can get so excited about the fillers and the flowers that you kind of lose, you know, the beauty of just the pumpkin itself. So we're always gonna start with our bigger fillers first. That means like our leafy greens, even though it's not green in color, but you know what I mean, our leafy shapes here. We're gonna always start with our bigger leafy stuff first. And then that will give us a base to build upon other things. So I'm going to just, again, this is foam, so I'm gonna just pierce it right in, okay? And don't worry about where it enters because we're gonna cover it and we're not gonna have to worry about that. So I'm gonna show you this. We're gonna build one little side up with some of these leaves here and then move on from there. Again, I like to do it where I do my nice big fillers first, like my leaves. Those come first, then we do our flowers, and then we do what I call our fun fillers, which is our colorful fillers and such. So I've got this going on, it's so pretty. I'm gonna put a little glue at the hole where these were stuck in. I like to do that for seasonal items that are gonna be packed up. Again, the foam would have held it, but I just wanna make sure it's extra stuck because again, when you have something seasonal that you might pull in and out, you don't want it to get knocked around and then lose its stuff. I think I'm gonna do maybe one more of these a little bit lower down in here. And then I have one more leafy green to put, okay? So I'm gonna fill just kind of one side here, and we're gonna put flowers and stuff in it in a minute, but I don't need to go crazy. Yeah, it's pretty already, right? I don't need to go crazy with filler where I'm losing the whole integrity of my pumpkin. Now I've got these kind of wine color leaves as well. I'm gonna do, like I said, a play on some colors. I've got some teals and wine colors along with some hand-painted succulents. So just because it's fall doesn't mean you have to do, you know, what I consider classic fall, which is, you know, mums and all that kind of stuff that are yellow and red and all that kind of things. You can be a little different. So again, I'm gonna get these in here. I'm gonna have it just cascade just a little bit down the side, but nothing too crazy because I don't wanna lose the shape, and I'm putting some glue on those spots as well. Okay, so as you can see, I built myself a little bit of a leafy start, okay? And I'm going to be able to kind of maneuver these leaves in the spots I want to once I start putting in the flowers. So it's okay that they're kind of sticking up right now because I'm gonna kind of shape it once I get my flowers in. So I'm gonna cut myself some 18 gauge wire here, stems, because again, my pumpkin is foam. So I'm gonna be able to stem my flowers and just poke them on in there, okay? So I've got some hand-painted succulents. So this is obviously some green. And I like the brightness of the green against the non-green greenery, okay? So I'm using greens, but not in my greenery. I'm using it in my flowers, okay? So I've got my succulent going on here. I've got 2 of those. I don't know if I'm gonna use them all. Once I start placing, I'll see. But I like to be prepared here. And I got some teal bellies. So this is kind of like, hi. This is kind of like your mum, but it's, again, not a classic kind of fall color. It's a little bit different color scheme, which again, with the white pumpkin, I think is really pretty because you've got that white to bump, you know, to bump off of. So I've got a few of those. Again, I'm just gonna stem them all. I don't know if I'm gonna use them all because once I start placing, then I'll see what I really need. And then I've got these little hydrangea pieces, and those are purple to incorporate the purples and winey color here. Now, I'm not gonna actually stem these. It's not really worth these little buds. I'm gonna just glue them in once we've got our base of flowers. So I'm gonna start with my succulents because they're my bigger flower. Again, it's always smart to start with whatever's bigger first. So I'm gonna place that in there, and this is where I'm gonna start to kind of shape my leaves. So I wanna make sure I get them in the direction that I want them. Okay. Yes, so pumpkins are obviously popular in these fall shows. So I actually have to turn it to myself. Sorry guys, I have to be able to see where I'm placing this stuff. Okay, so I've got that. Sometimes when I'm trying to build, while I'm actually gonna clip this long leaf. Sometimes I'm trying to build backwards and it doesn't work out there. So let me just build it and then I'll flip it. Okay. So again, I don't wanna cover up the integrity of, you know, the pumpkin. So I'm just gonna kind of insert these guys in here. Again, it's not so complicated with flowers or even the fillers. I'm just kind of playing around with this leaf look of a wine color, and then these other kind of opposite side of the color wheel colors. And I can fluff these guys up. You don't need to put raw and everything. You can do color, color, color. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep filling up my side here. So I do need a little leaf in here. So I do have an extra, that's what I saved it for, knowing that there could be a little bit of a gap somewhere. So see where I have this? I'm just gonna, I might actually, you know, I'm just gonna glue it because I don't wanna try to jab it all the way under my flowers. So I'm just gonna tuck my leaf in there. Okay, so you can glue directly onto these two. You don't have to just stem things. And again, I just love the look of having kind of the opposite sides of the color wheel on this white pumpkin because it's a little bit alternative looking to the regular fall look. Let me see. I'm gonna see if I need this somewhere. Yep, I'm gonna add this one. So again, I wanna start with my big stuff. I've got my leafy greens, then I've got my bigger flowers, and then we can move to fillers and that kind of stuff in a little bit. So I'm gonna add some more of this little leaf going down the side in the front. And then I get to play around with some of those colorful fillers, that kind of fun stuff. So let me just look at it from my view here. Oops, the wire is sticking out on this one. Okay. Again, I don't want to go too crazy and lose the integrity of the shape of my pumpkin, but I do want to be able to make it nice and full. So let me just stick this in, and then again, I'll flip it and show you what it looks like in there. Okay, I'm just looking for my other leaf. So again, I'm trying to mix these leaves together. You don't want to ever kind of make it, oh, I don't have my glue sticks with me. Let me go grab my glue sticks, guys. I forgot to grab a stack of them. That's not gonna help me get anything done. So I'm just grabbing more glue sticks. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I go through so many glue sticks. I forget to stack them up here. Okay, got my glue sticks. And like I was saying, I want to incorporate all of my greenery together. I don't like to just layer. I want to have it kind of intertwined. Sorry for all of you who jumped on right when I had to run and get my glue sticks, but oh, I forgot my refills there. Okay, so I've got it a little bit down. And that's cute. So again, this will be the front. Okay, I'm gonna have flowers and fillers come down here too, so don't worry about that. Okay, so I've got my big greens and I've got my bigger flowers. Let's scooch over, okay? And now I'm gonna do my little purple guys together. I might, with these hydrangea pieces, bundle a couple together before I add them. So if you have a large hydrangea, there's a lot of things you can do with just the blossoms. And I don't need to stem these. Like I said, I'm just gonna glue them right in. So I left a little bit of wire so I can slide, I'm gonna goop it up and slide that wire right in. Okay. And that's just like a little bit difference of a pop of color there that is a little bit unexpected. Not sure anybody really thinks about, you know, the purples and stuff being a fall color, but it definitely has become a more known color scheme, the mauve colors and stuff. So again, I'm bundling these little purple guys. And I don't want to go too crazy with adding flowers and stuff because I don't want to just take away so much from this pumpkin that it doesn't even like look like a pumpkin anymore. So let me just see. This little leaf guy is kind of poking out, so I'm gonna actually clip him and move him. in a second. So I'm keeping adding these little things. Have you ever painted the pumpkin itself? Carol, I'm not sure it would stick good. I don't know. It's foam. I mean, I'm sure there's paint that could stick, but I would be afraid it could scratch the paint off and it look weird. I'm not sure. Do you think like a bear paint would work on this kind of thing? I don't know. All right, this little leaf that I had extra, I'm going to slide him somewhere back here. And again, I'm just kind of playing around with layers and colors, always working with my bigger stuff first, moving to my kind of smaller fun type things at the end. I've got one more little blossom here. Let me see. I'm gonna stick it right there. And then I'm gonna show you up close what we've got so far before we add our final fillers. Now again, I want to show you this. Sometimes my videos are like so short and I'm like, oh, well, I could stretch it out. I don't want to stretch them out because I'll tell you why. I don't want you to think that in order to have something beautiful, it takes an hour long. Like, yeah, we can just have a talk session if you want to have a talk session. But I want to show you that things can go fast. You can make things fast. If you have a wedding in the fall, these are perfect centerpieces. Could you imagine this beautiful thing in the middle of your tables? Everybody will say something about how pretty they are, especially if your color combination, like let's just say your girls are wearing purple. You could still have a fall theme, a fall wedding theme with pumpkins, and it'd be purple, or it'd be red, or it'd be any other color. You can still do that and make a pumpkin that's beautiful and still be, you know, in the season without being, you know, the regulars, like I like to call them. So I'm just gonna glue these little guys down if they're sticking up in the wrong spot now, because I've added my flowers. Now I just want to make sure that all my leaves are where I want them to be before we add our final fillers. And so I do want to show you that these are fast and simple and easy. And besides just you know, dyeing your flowers, if you're going to dye them instead of keep them raw, really there's no prep at all. You just stick them all in there. You can definitely use colored fillers and raw natural flowers if you don't like dyeing flowers, and still get a vibrant color scheme. So let's see if you can see it all. So I've kind of piled some different things in there, if you can see. And now I'm gonna just add my final fillers, which are like my fun fillers, like I call them. I've got some preserved baby's breath here. This is kind of a teal color. And I'm gonna make some bundles of baby's breath. Whenever you have baby's breath, kind of make them into bundles so you don't waste the bottom pieces. So I like to kind of pluck off the bottom and bring them up to the top. Oop, bring them up to the top so that all of my blooms are kind of in the same spot, so it's a pretty little bundle. Okay. And after I have my bundle, I'm gonna just clip it all in the same spot so that I can add a glue blob and stick it on in there. Okay, so look, I've got my bundle cut in one spot so I can add my glue blob. And I'm just gonna slide that in so you can see. See that? All right, so I'm gonna make some bundles and I'm gonna just kind of fill in my gaps right now. And again, we started with our bigger greens as a base. We moved to our flowers, and then we finalized with these like gap fillers is kind of what I call them. They go right into any of the cracks or gaps that you got, and they're perfect to bring life and texture. And I'm just finding those gaps and kind of flopping those bundles in. Yes, bundling is a need, because otherwise you waste so much of your filler too. So you want to make sure that all the heads of your blooms are in the same spot. Otherwise you lose all the blooms that are in the bottom. So I'm gonna make a few more bundles here, and I'll clip them off. And I'm gonna find, again, my gaps. Baby's Breath is a really good gap filler, because it floofs out, is that a word? It kind of floofs out and fills your hole once you let go of it. So you make a little bundle, and then once you put it in the gap, it kind of opens up and fills nicely. So I like that about Baby's Breath. So I'm just gonna keep looking at places to put this. I'm not gonna go crazy overboard, but I do wanna make sure I don't just have random gaps that are unnecessary. So, and it breaks up just flower on flower. You have, you know, the leaves and then you have flowers, but this kind of stuff breaks up just a big hunk of flowers in the middle of, you know, nothing here. So, all right, I'm gonna put a little bit more, and then I will show you what it looks like. I am gonna put a little bit of this kind of cascading down along with the leaves. Okay. See how it just brings a little bit of life here? I think that's enough. Again, I don't want to go too crazy, but I can go back if I ever feel like I've spun it around a million times and I need some things. And then the last I'm gonna do is Phalaris, and I've got like a wine-colored Phalaris here. And I'm gonna put those guys in. And I like to do, if I'm gonna use these, I'm gonna let them kind of sprig up out of it too, so it looks kind of like they're floating. But I always put at least 2 together. I don't like little lonely heads of Phalaris. You can do 3 even, but in general, it's better to do more than 1, because 1 just looks like you just kind of stuck something somewhere and not necessarily like had it like how a plant grows, because plants usually grow in a natural V. You don't usually see one little bud of something by itself. So I'm gonna have these kind of coming off. See that just these little bitty things, and they really make a big difference. They make an impact. They change the look of your piece for sure. I love berry colors for the fall, personally. I'll turn it this way so you can see. Do you see how that little pop of berry really does something for it? I think I want some in the middle here. Can you see? Okay. You might need to touch it a little bit with glue if you're trying to make a long stem on this Phalaris here. All right. See how those pops really, really change the entire look of your piece? All right. I'm gonna make a little bundle of 3 on the other side. And then we're actually gonna be done. And again, I wanna show you that it doesn't have to take forever to be beautiful. You can finish things like centerpieces and home decor in no time at all. You don't have to be scared. If you're someone who's never done Soliflowers, I want you to know that you don't have to be scared. That I know sometimes we get brides, oh no, I don't know what I'm doing, and don't be scared. It's not hard. You just gotta take your time. It's a learning process. Hopefully our tutorials help you in the construction of things, but let your mind take you to things that you love, especially if you're a bride doing your own wedding. Like, don't try to copy everything. Just kind of do what you love so that you like your pieces. You know, we don't want people to have, just the same cut and paste thing every single time. Actually, I want to put a little bit of Baby's Breath here. We don't want to do cut and paste things. We want you to have your creative juices going and us just help you with the technical part of it. How far about to preserve? So dried and preserved lasts a very long time as long as you take care of it. You don't want it in anything too hot. You don't want it in direct sunlight, that kind of thing. But dried and preserved can last way over 10 years. In general, it lasts for, ooh, I just put glue in here. In general, it lasts forever, but it can have some changes over the years. But in general, it does last forever. You just have to make sure, again, you don't want it in anything too hot. You don't want it in direct sunlight or get it wet. Otherwise, you can purchase it. I've had, dried and preserved fillers for years and years. That's what the great part about these Sola bouquets is that, they last forever. So if you're going to buy flowers that last forever, obviously we want to give you fillers that are going to last you the lifetime. So again, these fillers will last the lifetime of your stuff. It's just that they could change if you're not careful with how you take care of them. We do have a blog on how to take care of our dried and preserved fillers. On our website, lovesolaflowers.com, there's a drop-down box and you can find blog. You can even use the search tab on the top of our website to look for even keywords in our blogs. So if you go into, you can do the word care, or you can, look up the word fillers. And not only will the fillers come up, but the blogs about fillers will come up as well. So just so you know, if you've not really navigated, our website, let me see if I can poke a hole in this and keep this down. This one leaf is being a little bit annoying. If you didn't know that you can use our search bar for those kind of things too, just so you know that it does work for our blog. And we do have instructions on how to care for those kind of things. So here's my white pumpkin with my green, teal, and wine colored topper. And I'll get a good picture of this. Sometimes in the video it's hard to see it because it's zoomed into your face and you can't see how pretty it is. But in real life it's super duper pretty. The colors are so pretty together. And I hope this gives you some creativity to kind of experiment with colors and textures and fillers that maybe you wouldn't even think go together well. And it will, motivate some of those creative juices to not just do the what everybody else does kind of thing, because I think that's what would make you stand out. I know as somebody who owns, my own florist company, a lot of times it's the things that I just create in my mind that are very different, that are not like what everyone else does. That's usually what brings me in a lot more business. And so coming up with this kind of color scheme, something a little bit different, it's traditional in the sense that it's a pumpkin, but not traditional in the sense that they're succulents. You can do a whole succulent, even on the orange pumpkin, I have an orange one too, a whole succulent thing. Maybe I'll even do one on that, because it's just different. And I think sometimes the difference is what sets you apart, because that's, that's the part that's really you. What you love, what you can create is what makes it you. And I don't need a bunch of people making, what's Dana. We want, it to be something that kind of speaks to, the person you are and your creative side as well. So again, here is mine and what I created, what I thought was fun because I wanted it in my house. This is one thing I'm not selling. I'm going to keep it because I have nothing pumpkin and I wanted something a little different. And my kitchen is blue and I thought, I don't want just regular old whatever. So I thought this would be fun. So here is my pumpkin. I have a couple other tutorials coming up with arrangement style things. So I try to trickle in how to do arrangements and stuff like this mixed in with the basics of things like dyeing or stemming. So I hope that you feel like it's a good balance of tutorials, but we want to hear from you. So if there's any tutorial ideas that you want, we would love to hear that. I am going to be doing the floating teacup. I just needed to get the correct glue for that. So I'm going to do that floating cupcake where it looks like, floating teacup where it's going to look like flowers are, dropping out of the cup. And thank you, Tina. You know, we have that coming up. So there's a bunch of stuff coming up, but we want to hear from you too. If there's anything that you really need me to go over, anything you need extra help with, please send us either a message in private message, or you can say it in the community group, or even you can private message me. And that way, you know, I make sure that, I make sure that I cover everything that everybody needs. Because that's what I would like to do. I come up with things myself, but I'd rather know that it's helping people. So if there's something that can help you, I'd rather do that. Tina, I actually have a different glue I'm going to try, so I'll let you know if it works. So that's the thing. I'm experimenting with some different glues that might be easier than it taking a long time. So anyway, this is my pumpkin, and I hope you guys have fun making your fall things too. And we will see you soon for another tutorial. And we always post in our community group when we're gonna have our tutorial with a little bit of a 10-minute, 15-minute warning, just so if you miss notifications, you'll know. So that's it. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.